Gentlemen,
that there will be no...
No, sir.
may I suggest
Bourbon.
Grazie.
I had a marker. He wants her seated. Yeah.
So you're free.
Someone.
You know how it goes. I promise.
And do the same.
Consider it a profession.
Archimubu. You pull it out, you consider this a profession.
You go.
Within this exhibit, highlight the fragility of our new insight of self.
Mio Dio, John. Testament. Too much worse. Okay?
It's all you have.
At the new modern NY, allowing for a new perspective. Now exiting. Reflection.
D'Antonio.
I want his membership that I have the right to demand of you.
And mine alone.
Winston, where you'll still... Have you seen the menu? A long time.
Walk away.
Mr. Wick, if you would be so inclined.
Come on, boy.
Winston.
Double Santino's open
And the
excommunicate Continental are now close. Sorry.
Then what?
Any longer.
Tell them I'll kill them.
Jonathan. Monarchs Communicado.
Hey guys, today we dive headfirst into the stylish, bullet-ridden world of John Wick, Chapter 2, a film that proves retirement is a myth. Especially when you're the Baba Yaga, we pick up exactly where the last one left off, with John Wick, our favorite dog-loving assassin, finally locating his prized, vintage Mustang. It's looking a bit worse for wear, let's be honest. Like it just survived a particularly aggressive car wash. He rolls into a garage, clearly not there to pick up his dry cleaning, and finds the dude responsible, Abram Tarasov, nephew of the late, great Vigio. John is not here for pleasantries. He's here for his wheels. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more. What follows is less a negotiation and more a masterclass in vehicular combat, John Wick style. He's outnumbered, naturally, but that's just another Tuesday for our man. The sounds of fists hitting flesh, bones crunching, and metal twisting fill the air. It's a symphony of chaos, punctuated by the grunts and screams of nameless thugs who clearly didn't get the memo about don't mess with the guy who literally retired from being an unstoppable killing machine. He's vaulting over cars, using a car door as a rather effective albeit temporary, shield, and generally making a mess of things. Each impact feels visceral, the sound design truly selling every bone-jarring punch and swift takedown. It's less a fight, more an efficient dismantling of anyone foolish enough to stand between John and his glorious, albeit dented, muscle car. You can almost feel the grease and grime coating everything, a gritty ballet of destruction after clearing the garage of any further resistance, or, life. John finally corners Abram in his office. There's a delicious moment where John takes a very large book, probably a ledger of questionable transactions, and uses it to violently emphasize his point on Abram's head. It's swift, brutal, and leaves a resounding thud. Just as John is about to deliver a more permanent solution, the phone rings. It's Winston, Mr. Continental himself, ever the voice of reason and rules, reminding John that the car is recovered and it's time to call it a day. A shaky truce is established, mostly because Abram is more scared of Winston than he is of John, which is saying something. With a final, chilling stare, John leaves, his car in tow, and we're left with the metallic scent of fresh carnage and the lingering echo of John's unspoken threat, home sweet home. John returns, his car finally parked, and his dog, who, let's be honest, is the real MVP here, gets some much-needed first aid. It's a quiet, tender moment, a stark contrast to the preceding symphony of destruction. Then John descends into his basement, retrieves his old, well-worn chest of weapons, and meticulously buries them again, sealing them with concrete. The dull scraping sound of the shovel, the rhythmic splash of concrete mix, it's all meant to signify closure. He's trying, bless his heart, to go back to being a normal person, to live out his days tending to his dog and maybe, just maybe, avoiding any more international incidents. He looks tired, a weariness etched onto his face that even copious amounts of caffeine couldn't fix. He wants peace, but in this world, peace is just a brief interlude between gunfights, just as John is settling into his quiet life, which, for him, probably means not actively shooting people. There's a knock at the door. And who could it be but Santino D'Antonio, a suave, smarmy, and deeply annoying Italian crime lord? Santino isn't there for a friendly chat. Oh no, he's there to collect. He presents John with a marker, a blood oath from John's past, a literal blood-soaked thumbprint on a metal medallion. The ominous clink of the marker as it hits the table speaks volumes. It's the kind of thing you just know means trouble. John's face hardens. This is the past literally walking back into his living room, threatening to drag him back into the life he fought so hard to escape. You can practically hear the dramatic sting of the violins, signaling that retirement just got officially postponed. Santino, with a smug grin, reminds John of a time when he needed help, needed an impossible task done, and how Santino provided that aid, sealing it with this very marker. It was the key to John's impossible task, allowing him to leave the high table's service and marry his beloved Helen, a powerful debt. But John, understandably, wants nothing to do with it. He stares at the marker, its cold metallic glint reflecting his internal struggle. The unspoken rule is that a marker cannot be refused. It's more binding than a non-compete clause in the assassin world. John's refusal is a defiant act, a desperate attempt to cling to the shred of normalcy he's managed to construct. The air crackles with unspoken threats and the heavy weight of an unbreakable promise that John is trying, in vain, to break. Santino, not one to be denied, doesn't take John's refusal lightly. After John literally slams the door in his face, Santino decides to make a rather dramatic point. He pulls out a grenade launcher, because why use a strongly worded letter when you have high explosives? The next thing we know, John's beautiful, tranquil home is engulfed in a thunderous explosion, a deafening roar that rattles the very foundations of his precarious peace. The fiery orange glow against the night sky is a devastating visual. John, ever resourceful, manages to make a frantic escape with his dog, a truly harrowing moment that emphasizes how much he truly values a free companion. The boom of the explosion leaves a ringing silence, shattered only by the crackle of flames, signifying that John's retirement, much like his house, is now utterly obliterated. The past isn't just knocking, it's blowing your front door off. With his house now a smoking crater and his hopes for a quiet life in ashes, John seeks out the one man who always seems to have all the answers and an amazing wardrobe, Winston, the proprietor of the Continental Hotel. Their meeting on the rooftop, overlooking the glittering cityscape, provides a stunning backdrop for a grim conversation. Winston, with his usual calm authority, explains that a marker is sacred. It's the very foundation of their clandestine society's honor system. Refusing a marker isn't just rude, it's a death wish, and not just for John, but for anyone who might try to protect him. The air feels heavy, thick with the weight of ancient rules and insurmountable debts. There's no escaping this. John has to honor the marker, like it or not, or face the wrath of the entire high table. It's a lose-lose situation, if you ask me, but then again, John Wick isn't exactly known for easy choices. So, with a heavy sigh and an unspoken "here we go again," John accepts his fate. The target? Gianna D'Antonio, Santino's own sister, who, let's be frank, probably saw this coming given her family tree. John hops on a private jet to Rome, the Eternal City, which, for him, is just another hunting ground. The journey is quiet, contemplative, a prelude to the storm. He's not happy about it, not one bit. You can almost hear the internal monologue. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. But a debt is a debt, and John Wick is a man of his word, even when that word is etched in blood and forcing him to commit patricide. Or, well, sororicide in this case. The hum of the jet engine is the only sound. A metallic drone carrying our reluctant assassin towards his next bloody assignment. In Rome. It's not all ancient ruins and delicious posture for John. First stop, a bespoke tailor. Because if you're going to assassinate someone, you might as well look sharp doing it. And this isn't just any suit. It's practically a wearable tank, custom fitted with bulletproof plates. The crisp snap of the fabric, the meticulous adjustments, it's a ritual. Then it's off to see the weapons sommelier, a dude who curates firearms like fine wines. He describes each weapon's vintage, its balance, its spread, with a delightful flourish. It's almost comical if it weren't so deadly serious. John, ever the connoisseur of chaos, selects a meticulous array of pistols, submachine guns, and even a shotgun, each chosen for its specific flavor of destruction. The metallic clink of loaded magazines and the satisfying thunk of a suppressor being attached all serve to build the tension. Because nothing says business like bespoke tactical wear and a curated collection of killing tools. John infiltrates Gianna D'Antonio's opulent party, held within the stunning, ancient ruins of a Roman bathhouse. It's a visually striking scene, with classical architecture bathed in modern light, pulsating music, and throngs of high society types. John, ever the quiet predator, moves through the crowd, a stark contrast to the vibrant revelry. He's a ghost in a suit, his eyes scanning, searching, never lingering. The murmur of conversation, the clink of champagne glasses, the thumping bass of the music, it all serves as background noise to his singular, deadly objective. There's a palpable tension, knowing what he's there for, while everyone else is just enjoying the Prosecco. It's a beautifully choreographed dance of danger amidst indulgence, a silent ticking clock counting down to Gianna's final moments. John corners Gianna in a private, sumptuously appointed bath chamber. It's a stark, intimate confrontation, far from the boisterous party. Gianna, surprisingly calm, understands her fate, but she's not going to let her brother win by proxy. In a moment of chilling defiance, she uses a shard of glass to slit her wrists, choosing the manner of her own death. The sound of her sharp intake of breath, the quiet gurgle of blood in the water, it's all horrifically serene. John, ever the professional, doesn't hesitate. To fulfill the marker completely, he delivers a final, silent headshot. The muffled walk of the bullet is barely audible over the sound of the running water. It's a moment of grim respect, a twisted form of honor among assassins. He's done his job, but you can see the toll it takes, even on the Yaga. As John attempts to make his quiet exit, he's spotted by Castian, Gianna's devoted and extremely capable bodyguard. Castian, reeling from the discovery of Gianna's death, immediately recognizes John and doesn't hesitate. This isn't just a professional pursuit, it's personal. The hunt is on, and it kicks off with a desperate dash through the ancient, labyrinthine catacombs beneath the bathhouse. The echo of their footsteps against the stone walls, the sharp intakes of breath, it all signifies the start of a high-stakes, breathless chase. Castian is a force, a mirror to John in his dedication and skill, and you just know this isn't going to be a quick or easy fight. The thrumming tension of the chase fills the underground tunnels. The catacombs become their personal, very violent playground. John and Castian exchange pistol shots, the loud crack of gunfire reverberating off the stone, disturbing centuries of quietude. They're ducking, weaving, and sliding past ancient sarcophagi, each one a silent witness to their brutal dance. It's a masterclass in gunfu in a ridiculously tight space, with bodies and bullets flying in every direction. The gritty texture of the stone, the dust kicked up from every impact, the frantic scrambling for cover, you can almost taste the ancient earth. There are moments of absolute stillness, just the heavy breathing of the combatants, before another explosive burst of violence. These aren't just two guys fighting. They're two highly trained professionals locked in a deadly, personal chess match where every move could be their last. The claustrophobia of the environment only heightens the tension, making every thump and was feel impossibly close. When the bullets run out, the knives come out. It's a switch to an even more intimate, visceral form of combat. The metallic shink of blades sliding from sheaths, the close quarters thrusts and parries, the struggle for dominance. They're like two apex predators, evenly matched, grappling in the low light. The sound of their heavy breathing, the strained grunts, and the clink of steel on stone is almost deafening. The fight takes them to a dramatic stone staircase, where they tumble down, a whirlwind of flailing limbs and flashing blades. The sounds of impact, of bodies hitting solid stone, are wince-inducing. They're both severely injured, ragged and exhausted, but their determination to end the other is unwavering. It's a testament to their sheer willpower that they can even stand, let alone keep fighting, after such a brutal descent. They're both barely functional, clinging to consciousness by a thread, just when you think they're going to bleed out all over some ancient Roman mosaic. John and Castian, still glaring daggers at each other, stumble into the Continental Hotel. The shift in atmosphere is immediate and palpable. The elegant lobby, with its hushed tones and impeccable staff, demands a certain decorum. The unwritten rule, no business on continental grounds. The moment they cross the threshold, the fight abruptly stops. It's a forced ceasefire, a testament to the absolute authority of the Continental's rules. The sudden quiet, broken only by their ragged breathing and the faint strains of classical music, is eerie. They sit side by side at the bar, getting patched up by the efficient Continental medical staff, still sending murderous glares across the table. It's a bizarre, almost comical scene of two mortal enemies sharing a drink, bound by an ancient code. One slight wrong move, and the air would probably snap with tension. After his Roman holiday of violence, John returns to New York, probably hoping for a nice, quiet nap. Nope, Santino, still seething, has placed a whopping $7 million open contract on John's head. $7 million. That's enough to make even the most morally upright hitman consider a career change. Suddenly, every face in the bustling New York crowd, every street performer, every hot dog vendor, every person holding a suspiciously large package is a potential threat. The city transforms from a familiar landscape into a hostile hunting ground. The ping of cell phones, the subtle nods, the fleeting glances. It all serves to show John that he's now the hunted. The feeling of being watched, of constantly being in danger, becomes almost suffocating. John, however, just adjusts his tie. He might be hunted, but he's still John Wick, and he's not going down without a fight. Or, a dozen fights. The moment John steps onto the subway, the traps spring. Assassins, seemingly from every walk of life, emerge from the mundane backdrop of everyday commuters. It's a shocking display of how deeply embedded this underworld is. The close confines of the subway car become a deadly dance floor, with John leading the choreography of pain. The muffled thwack-thwack of silenced pistols, the desperate cries of innocent bystanders, the crunch of bodies against the metal walls. It's a chaotic ballet of bullets and brutal efficiency. He's ducking, weaving, using the tight spaces to his advantage, reloading with lightning speed, never missing a beat. It's the kind of scene that makes you look at your fellow subway riders a little differently next time. The sheer, overwhelming number of attackers makes John's survival seem impossible. Yet he carves a path through them with grim determination. Just when John thinks he's catching a breath after the subway debacle, who should pop up again but Cassian? Yeah, the guy who probably thought he was done with John and Rome. Apparently, he's a very fast healer and holds a serious grudge. Their second round takes place in the bustling Grand Central Station, a stark contrast to the quiet catacombs. It's another brutal knife fight, a flurry of rapid, expert thrusts and blocks, the shink of steel echoing against the cavernous ceilings. The sheer precision and speed of their movements are astounding, a testament to their shared mastery of this deadly art. They move through the unaware crowds, their fight almost invisible to the ordinary eye, a secret war unfolding in plain sight. It's a thrilling, heart-pounding sequence, as personal as it is professional, with the stakes getting higher with every glint of a blade. Cassian is relentless, fueled by vengeance, and John is just trying to survive another day. In a move that has become iconic, John Wick, ever the master of improvised weaponry, uses a pencil. Yes, a pencil! To incapacitate Cassian. The sudden, brutal shink of the pencil finding its mark is both shocking and ingenious. It's a reminder that John doesn't need fancy guns to be deadly. Anything can be a weapon in his hands. He could have finished Cassian right there, but instead, he leaves him with a rather painful, albeit temporary, souvenir. It's a surprising moment of mercy, a glimmer of the John Wick who once sought peace. He's not a monster. He's just really, really good at his job, even when it involves stationery. The image of Cassian writhing in pain, a pencil protruding from his face, is darkly humorous in its audacity, showcasing John's unique brand of brutal efficiency, desperate for intel. John seeks out a new, enigmatic character, the Bowery King. He's a flamboyant, pigeon-loving crime lord who operates a vast, hidden network of seemingly homeless operatives beneath the city's surface. It's a fascinating glimpse into another layer of this already complex underworld. The visual contrast between John's refined demeanor and the Bowery King's more eccentric, almost theatrical, presence is quite striking. Pigeons flutter and coo around their meeting, an oddly serene backdrop to their grim discussion. John needs information, and the king, despite his initial reluctance, recognizes John's legendary status. There's a palpable power exchange, an understanding that even in this dog-eat-dog world, a certain respect is due. The Bowery King, with his distinct gravelly voice, is clearly a man who knows things, and John knows he's found a valuable, if slightly bizarre, ally. The Bowery King then unveils the ingenious brilliance of his network. His homeless operatives aren't just down on their luck. They're eyes and ears everywhere, utilizing subtle hand signals, coded messages, and seemingly innocuous acts to track everyone and everything. With Santino's location confirmed, John retreats to a temporary safe house, probably an airbin with a rather lenient policy on bullet holes. He meticulously cleans and loads his weapons, the quiet click-clack of gun parts snapping into place, the dull thud of magazines being seated. It's a ritual, a silent meditation before the storm. Each movement is precise, almost surgical. He's preparing for war, knowing full well that this isn't just another contract. It's personal. The air is thick with anticipation, the calm before the inevitable explosion of violence. There's no fanfare, just the grim resolve of a man pushed too far. He straps on his gear, a living, breathing weapon ready to be unleashed. The shink of a knife finding its sheath signaling his readiness, John walks into the art gallery. Another public space, another potential bloodbath. Santino, surrounded by his own art, probably thinks he's safe. Oh, Santino, you sweet, naive fool. John moves through the throng of art aficionados, a quiet, deadly presence amidst the pretentious chatter and clinking wine glasses. The atmosphere is thick with a different kind of tension now, the unspoken threat that John carries. Every glance, every pause feels loaded. He's looking for Santino, but he's also acutely aware of every potential threat around him. The subtle shush of his footsteps on the polished floor, the distant murmur of conversation, it all feels like a prelude to chaos. This isn't just an art exhibit. It's John's latest hunting ground, and he's about to make a very loud statement. Then we enter the mirror room. And let me tell you, this is peak John Wick. It's an optical illusion designed to disorient, and it works beautifully. John is fighting multiple assassins, and the reflections multiply them endlessly, creating a dizzying, chaotic ballet of bullets and broken glass. The shatter of each mirror, the rapid pop-pop-pop of gunfire, the frantic dodging and weaving, it's a sensory overload. John, with his signature blend of close-quarters combat and pistol expertise, uses the environment to his advantage, despite the confusion. He's shooting at reflections, anticipating movements, and generally making a fool of anyone who thought they could get the drop on him. A hall of mirrors. It's a brutal, visually stunning sequence that truly highlights the creativity and sheer scale of the action in this movie. You almost feel as disoriented as the assassins trying to land a hit. Santino, realizing John Wick is a man of his word and in absolute terror, makes a frantic dash for safety. He weaves through the panicked crowds, a coward attempting to outrun a force of nature. His mind, however, isn't entirely panicked. He knows there's only one place he might find sanctuary from John Wick, the Continental. The desperate patter of his feet on the polished floor, the quick glances over his shoulder, the sheer terror in his eyes, it all paints a picture of a man utterly out of his depth. He's clinging to the one rule that might save him, hoping that even the Baba Yaga respects the sacred grounds. It's a tense chase, leading to the inevitable confrontation where rules will either be upheld or shatter into a million pieces. The air crackles with the suspense of what John will do when Santino finally reaches his safe haven. Santino, with a smug, almost triumphant look, strolls into the Continental Hotel, plops himself down at the bar and orders a drink. He thinks he's safe now, cocooned by the hotel's sacred rules. He even smirks at John, who has followed him inside. The air in the usually hushed Continental lobby is now thick with an almost suffocating tension. Winston, ever the watchful proprietor, observes John with a mixture of concern and resignation. The slow, deliberate movements of John approaching the bar, the subtle glances exchanged between hotel staff, it all underscores the gravity of the moment. Santino's false sense of security is palpable, a shield he believes impenetrable. But John Wick has already had his house blown up. A few more rules might just be collateral damage at this point. The gentle clink of ice in Santino's glass feels like a ticking clock. Winston, seeing the impending disaster, makes one last, urgent plea for John to reconsider. He reminds him of the sacred rule, no blood on continental grounds. But John, his eyes burning with a lifetime of pain and the memory of his destroyed home, simply responds, "I'm not asking," and then, with a devastatingly cold thwack of a silenced pistol, he shoots Santino D'Antonio directly in the head. The impact of the shot, the sudden silence, the collective gasp of the onlookers, it's a seismic event in this world. The violation is absolute, undeniable. He just killed someone in the ultimate safe space, shattering the very foundation of their clandestine society. It's a moment of chilling defiance, a line crossed that can never be uncrossed. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? The quiet thud of Santino's body hitting the floor reverberates with the weight of John's irreversible decision. The moment is stark. John has committed the ultimate sin. Winston, grim-faced, delivers the verdict, excommunicado. This isn't just getting kicked out of a fancy hotel. It's a death sentence. All his privileges, all his connections, all the safe havens are gone, poof, just like that. And to top it off, Santino's $7 million bounty is doubled to $14 million, and it's now global, active on every single professional assassin out there. The click of the phone as Winston makes the official announcement, the quiet but firm tone of his voice, it all feels incredibly final. John has gone from being a legend to being the world's most wanted man, with virtually no allies. The world, as he knew it, has turned against him, and there's no turning back. The weight of Winston's words hangs heavy in the air, a chilling pronouncement of John's new, terrifying reality. Winston, in a final gesture of what might be grudging respect, gives John a 1-hour head start. 1 hour to vanish before every assassin on the planet gets the green light to hunt him down for that astronomical $14 million bounty. John, with his trusty dog, disappears into the teeming streets of New York, a solitary figure against the indifferent backdrop of humanity. Every face is a potential threat, every shadow a possible ambush. The sheer scale of the threat is overwhelming, yet John moves with a fierce determination. It reminds us that even when the world is against you, when all hope seems lost, there's always a path forward, a fight to be had. John Wick, the man, the myth, the excommunicado legend, is now truly alone, facing an entire world baying for his blood. It's a powerful moment, suggesting that sometimes to find your true purpose, you have to burn everything down and start anew. Even if that new involves being the most hunted man on earth, it's a reminder that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, even when the odds are truly impossible. If you enjoyed this journey into the brutal beauty of John Wick, remember, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more content like this. Thanks for watching, guys.